for target like Last Starfighter.
Hello, welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Requel, show where we pick a film or a franchise and give it a prequel, a sequel, and a requel with a panel of movie-going comedians, I guess we'll call them. I'm going to call them something else, but I better not. If you join us on Facebook, welcome to the show. You might have been here before, but we'll deal with that in a second. First of all, let's get our panel straight in this evening. We're doing The Last Starfighter, 80s classic sci-fi adventure. So let's bring our first panelist in. You know him every week now. He's here every time. It's Eddie French.
Hello. You all right?
I'm all right. Are you?
Yeah,
I'm not
good,
too
mate.
bad.
How are you?
I'm all right. I botched the intro a little bit, but you know.
Oh, I thought it was good.
You're just saying that, but thank you.
No, of course it was good. Yeah, well done, you. How's your week?
It's been all right, yeah. Not too bad, yeah. Just just sat there waiting for this. That's all I do always.
You do just sit in front of that curtain, just tapping down the hours. If people saw all the other walls, they're just all tally marks for the hours being just crossed off as you go through your week. But yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
it's just to make sure you're on time.
Yeah, I wait.
It's good, man.
Right, let's get our next panelist in. She's a regular as well, not irregular. She's a regular here. It's none other than your friend and mine. Maybe she's not your friend. I don't know you. It's Natalie Smeaton.
Hello. That was a better intro. That wasn't shit.
It wasn't. It was just all over the place. I mean, I'm all over the place tonight.
Are you all right today, Chris?
I'm excited about the film again. It's The Last Starfighter. It's a classic, this one. It's really good fun.
You know you love it, don't you? But I'm going to admit, literally, until you told us what we were doing this week, I had never heard of it.
What?
Shame burns my cheeks.
Well, sometimes you do miss films. You know, I'd never seen The Lost Boys before until we did the episode.
I can't believe you've never seen The Lost Boys before, but it was good, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Just never got around to watch it. Anyway, we always have a special guest. Sorry now, how's your week been? Oh, we ain't got time, don't mind. We got a special guest tonight. He's a friend of ours. He's a resident of Blackpool, I believe. Ooh. And he's I think he's the co-owner, if I'm not mistaken, of a very popular channel on YouTube called Mooch TV. It's none other than Dave Hughes. There he is. Woo!
Oh, hello. Hiya.
Hello, Dave.
I'll correct you there. It's the owner.
The owner. I thought you owned it with Chris, or was that?
I kind of brought him on board, and he kind of, to be fair, he got me off my arse saying, let's do something. Yeah, go on then. But he's busy with real life now.
Right. Okay.
He's got a family with 3 children, and he's left me the burden of this. I'm the
owner. The owner of Mooch TV. It's a big responsibility to be the sole owner.
Well, this is it. And here I am in Blackpool, ground zero of Britain, where we're the only ones unaffected. We can walk about as much as we want, cough on anybody as much as we want.
Lick each other.
We can do that. Everybody's a nice lolly here. It's paradise here. Get me out of here now.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, we're immune. Yeah.
I've been to Blackpool. God knows how.
Yeah. Of all the places in the UK that you could put a pin in it and go, this will be all right. I want to pick Blackpool.
Which one's the dirtiest? Oh, it's got to be that one. No.
And I'd like
the only environment that COVID-19 cannot survive in.
Clearly, Blackpool is too hard for COVID-19. You are harder than Blackpool. That's what it is.
Like in the middle of some volcanoes.
You are
scared.
Right, let's do some hellos. We've got some people in on Facebook already. Hello on Facebook. If you're watching, we've got Roberto, our friend.
How are you doing, man?
Bob showed the people and there's a man. Martin's here, but he's here tonight. How did the doctor visit go? Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Did he sort that rash?
Do you know what? This is exactly the kind of conversation private messages were made.
Yeah. Although now I want to know about the rash.
That's a DM slide if ever I stole one.
I'm sure we'll find out about the rash as we go through. I'm sure that won't be the last we hear about it.
Get some Germaline on it. It'd be great.
If you've not seen the show before, if you watched on Facebook, as we say, we're doing The Last Starfighter tonight. Our lovely panelists here will be giving me a prequel, a sequel, and a requel for the film. and we'll be voting. I'll explain that as we go, though. But first of all, before we do any of that, I'd like to give you a quick recap. If you've not seen the film before, I'm going to read you the back of the DVD box. This is how they sell it to you. Back in the day, they sold the film to you. Are you ready for this? Here we go. Millions of light years ago, a great frontier was constructed in the universe to protect the Star League of Planets from its enemy, the evil Kodan. But now a defector has given the key to the frontier to the Kodan, and starfighters from throughout the galaxy are needed to defend the peace. One recruiter, the alien scallywag Centauri, visits Earth and finds Alex, an 18-year-old with an extraordinary talent for video game wizardry. Alex is quickly propelled into the regions of outer space to fight a war to save the universe. I like how they call him the scallywag. That alien scallywag.
Little cheeky little scally.
To pick it for the back of the DVD box is quite a weird choice, I think. And okay, we're going to get straight on with it tonight. So
I'm excited.
Prequels, here we go. We're going to get straight on the prequels. First of all, up for their prequel is Eddie. So Eddie will do his minute pitch, then you two can ask him questions after he's done his pitch. Try and put him on the spot. So I'm going to put your minute on the clock, Eddie. You ready for this?
Okay. So, G.I. Grig. This is a focus on Grig, obviously. He's everyone's favourite because he responds to everything like this. And which suggests some kind of respiratory issue that he's overcome. And we're going to see more of this in G.I. Grig. Grig is the top female officer in his division. He refuses all allowances made for him and demands to be taken seriously, just like all of the other people. He fights harder and he works harder than everybody else. He gets his head put in a bucket of water by Aragorn off of Lord of the Rings. And he sort of like looks in the mirror and he takes like a shaving brush and puts glue on his head and like puts hair all over it and makes himself the hairiest of all of them. And it's sort of really, really intense. And people are like, Grig, like he's going to do it. And then it finishes the same way as G.I. Jane that I took the premise from.
Right, okay. So, right then, Dave and Nat, you can ask Eddie any question you want now.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I think the first question is why? No, it's actually quite...
Well, why have any film? It's
true.
I mean, you can't ask about art. You can't ask why it is.
No, that's true.
Say what it is.
Yeah. As a prequel, yeah, it's it smacks to me of a cross between The Devil Wears Prada and Jean de la Florette. It's I was hoping it was would you cast the original?
Oh, the original Greek.
The power of StreamYard and Zoom.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Sorry, that was actually a conversation that humans understand now.
Yeah, it's anybody know who Norman Collier is?
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Oh yes.
My question is, in G.I. Jane, they have to ring the bell if they want to quit, and she resists ringing the bell up until the very end, when then she goes and smashes the shit out of it with a baseball bat. I want to know what Grig has to smash the shit out of, and if he ever does, because it can't be a bell, because that's a human thing. So, you know, what's the equivalent in your film?
Oh, well, that's a very good question. I imagine it would be some sort of intergalactic surrender fungus. You know,
what does an intergalactic surrender fungus do, Eddie? I need more specifics.
I imagine it's a fungus, as it suggests, somewhere between plant and animal, and it would be dome shaped, so it would sort of resemble an earth bell, kind of, but it would obviously be its own thing. And when struck, it would release spores, which would take away any pain that the individual who struck it would be in. So it would be like a mercy if they were in like a space judo hold or something like that, and they were in severe pain. They just go, "Oh, smash the thing," and "Oh, I feel all better." And people will go, "That is great shame, you massive space fanny." And so it would be some sort of space fungus.
Okay.
Right.
The space surrender fungus.
All right. We've Roberto just piped up. Dave is giving you a nickname. We warned you about this. I can't believe famous Australian here. Good day, mate. Hughesy. Kangaroo down under.
I'm not Australian.
Don't matter.
Fair enough.
Don't worry about it.
Mate. Don't worry, mate. The cover. There we go. Bob.
Roberto's fully aware that you are not, but that will not keep him from his task of nicknaming everyone in the world.
He'll do. It's a nice one. I'll give him that.
He's found his calling. So.
You've had your questions, so let's move on. It's Nat's turn, please. The Last Starfighter prequel.
Okay.
Away you go.
So mine is also inspired by Grieg. So Grieg lives in a cave on his home planet and dreams of making it big. He decides to enter a new competition that's just started on his home planet called Starfighter, in which everyone is very excited. He enters with his talent, which is solving 3 separate Rubik's Cubes at once using his sexual appendages. And before he knows it, Shergel Walsh and Sharman Cowell have put him through to the judges' caves and then the live shows. Grieg, knowing this is his best chance for his big break, juggles knives with his genitals, also while singing a beautiful song called Me Spartan Friend Rig, which uncannily on Earth sounds exactly like My Heart Will Go On. But he wins, only to find out that rather than a record contract in a Christmas #1, he instead becomes a Starfighter's navigator, and that's what the whole competition was about in the first place. And there you go.
Right, okay.
If you just tuned in, we do speak English.
Eddie and Dave, have you got a question for Nat?
I would like to know how much time are we spending on the other auditions?
I would like them to be just like a montage. So, you know, like there's always like the first auditions, and then you see like the ones that take them through to the judges' caves, and then the ones that take them through to the live show, essentially. So I would like those sections to be montages, and not just of singing, but of all the other talents that they've got as well. But really the story is focusing on Grieg and him thinking he's going to become famous, but in fact just becomes a Starfighter's navigator. So not even a starfighter.
And then there'll be someone who doesn't look very glamorous, but it turns out can sing.
Yeah.
and they
have the best music, and there's tears down Amanda Holden's face like that.
I think that's just WD-40 coming out of the out from the cogs.
Allegedly.
I don't know. I've seen her reaction.
Our favourite word, Dave, on this show is allegedly. Allegedly. Where we use on this allegedly, always say it.
I do like the fact that you've got all these alien judges and Amanda Holden.
Yes, because we all know she's not human.
Allegedly.
Would Grieg be a diva in this film? Do you think he gets a bit too...
Yeah, his story arc would be fantastic, wouldn't it? For him to sort of start off dead humble and then get through to the live shows and make loads of enemies and really upset the judges. And then when he's winning at the end, he completely ignores his little brother, like in the original film. When he wins at the end and hugs his girlfriend and then goes and gets in the ship.
I mean, this sounds like there's elements of A Star Is Born and What Happened to Baby Jane in this as well, which I'm all over. I haven't seen
A Star Is Born, but I have seen and love What Happened to Baby Jane. That's great.
We got confirmation from a roving reporter, Matt, in there.
I knew it.
Apparently,
thank you, Martin.
Cheers, Matt. Did you know what? We were unsure. We were worried we were on dubious legal ground there, but if it turns out to be true, then we're all good.
Anyway, right, okay. Let's move on. Dave,
all right.
Your prequel to Last Starfighter. Are you ready for this?
I don't know if I can. I can't. How do I follow these two? Because theirs was great. Mine.
You what? Eddie nicked his off of G.I. Jane. Are you kidding me?
You know.
And you got yours off X Factor.
Like, how can you be worried about following them? Like, they were stolen.
Go for it. Go for it. You'll be fine.
Right, your clock on. Oh, don't time me. I've
got you. I've got the clock on. Yeah.
Good. All right then. The Emperor of the The Emperor of the Kodan Armada broadcasts his intentions of dominance of the galaxy. Several planets have also bent the knee, apart from the one planet, that of Rylos, which stand firm to protect the galaxy. The President assigns Grigg, our friend, and Centauri to beef up the Star League. So while Centauri designs gun stars, Grigg trains a new batch of volunteers who to become the first Starfighters. Title card!
Ah.
Yeah. Most of the focus is on a recruit called Niche and the President's son, Zoe, who get into a romance and adventures, but Grigg suspects that Zoe has evil intentions and may be in league with the Kodan. When a peace conference is attacked, Zoe reveals his betrayal, and him and Niche get into a fight, to which he kills Niche and escapes, and joins the Kodan. You might notice at the beginning of Last Starfighter, where all the Starfighters sit there's an empty chair. Well, that belongs to Niche. It's a Prequel.
Right.
Yeah, there's an empty chair. So basically, it ends with Centauri going around the universe, including Earth, to drop off some, whatever I put it, combat pods or booths, combat booths, i.e., video games.
Yeah.
And he stamps them with his nickname, Atari. The end.
Sorry, Atari. I like that. Good. All right. Very good. Okay. Questions from Nat and Eddie then? Fire away.
Yeah, straight away. So Atari stamped on the thing is Alan Sugar involved? Does he sue them, or is he a friend of Centauri and allows him to use the name?
Well, in this case, I think Centauri just gives some jewels to an entrepreneur Japanese guy. Says, right, okay, this is the thing. Maintain my machines, but you can, with the jewels, you can make your own games and software. Just do it. Just as long as you can, look after them, do what you want, because there's Space Invaders coming. I mean, Monsters Eating Ghost. I mean, you can use them.
Asteroids.
Yes. Asteroids are coming. Oh no, I mean, just maintain the machines. All right. Hoi. Right, and off
You
he
can
pops.
do whatever you want. Frog or summer. Are you saying that the person who takes the jewels to the Japanese technology company bloke is essentially the Forrest Gump of video games? Accidentally invents everything in like second flat, and then just lets everyone else develop. Okay,
well, that's how they get the money off Centauri. Just said, we thought we had some funding. There you are, mate. There you go. Make this machine, make return. Frogger, all those gags off he goes.
Right. So we're actually having a woman in the prequel, which is an interesting move, because it is a very sort of male-heavy film.
Yeah.
What, a film from the 80s? Male-heavy? Never.
Yeah, I know.
She's Rylon.
Egregious, no.
Yeah, I mean, she's got the prosthetics on. So.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, but at least a nod towards some kind of female character. Does she have to do more training than the men? I'm just asking if it's going to be like G.I. Jane or not.
No, actually, she helps with the training. She's actually quite the professional. She, if anything, she's more of a teacher, but she sits in because she's that good. But yeah, she's one of those Ryla ones, one with the big heads at the beginning.
Okay, cool. So is it like she sort of mainly does training, but then when it comes down to it, it goes, oh no, I've got to get back in the saddle for this one. Is it that kind of deal? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them. But her out's on the sleeve, and she looks out for all the other recruits who are a bit clumsy, with the tentacles.
No. That's the classic bit of the teacher gets back in the cockpit, and that's when that's
the one.
This is on.
So obviously. Cool. Yeah, so when she passes away, when she gets killed, obviously you feel for her then, you feel the loss. And that's why I thought that chair in the Last Starfighter, when it's empty, I think, she was sat there.
Oh my God, Dave actually thought about this properly.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he did a really nice...
do. They really show us up for the rubes that we are.
Hey, well, to be fair, I only added it an hour ago. I watched it this morning. I went, why is it an empty chair there? I know.
Nat, your niece, I believe.
Hey!
Asking Roberto if he's okay. But then this gets a bit weird because Roberto's put, hello, How are you, kitten? And then Dan's come in. Hello, Dan.
Oh, hi Dan. How are you doing?
Kitten.
Is Roberto actually Marsha from Spaced?
God knows. Right, okay, let's vote. So we get one vote in the room each. You can't vote for your own. And then vote online as well, and we'll have a look at these as well as we go. So I'm
going to vote for Dave.
It feels
Dave
right
gets
to
my
vote for
vote.
Dave.
Yeah.
But I am going to vote for Natalie because I think it would be more fun. But I mean, Dave's is clearly the best idea. But I'm here for Natalie's idea, I think.
Thank you, Eddie.
Right, I'm going to vote for Dave's as well because I like the idea of the wordplay thing always comes in as well. You know, first Starfighter as last Starfighter. You know what I mean? I like all that business. You know what I mean?
The average Starfighter, the mean.
Yeah. Dave, who are you voting for?
I will have to go for Natalie's because I must admit I am a sucker for reality shows, and I mean I like Eddie's like sort of the montage of G.R. Greg, but I must admit all the alien judges and Amanda Holden and going around on the chairs and that, like the voice. I just think, and obviously juggling knives with testicles is just well, you can't beat that. So yes,
it is a talent.
So that gets my golden buzzer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
Lovely. Okay, let's have a look. Votes from our Facebook watchers. Oh, what a surprise!
You sure? She has to say that because I helped
Oh,
her
hang
this
on.
week.
Hang on. Here we go as well. Look at this.
Thank you, Dan. I
There you
appreciate
go.
that vote.
And
love
it's
you.
not over yet. Here we go.
Thank you, Martin. I also love you.
So, Nats won that round. Nats won the first
Getting,
round by a landslide.
Roberto's votes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
no vote from
Oh,
Roberto.
No, there is. It's here. See ya.
Dancing Australia. Thank you.
We're going to move on to sequels. So, same format again. Here we go for
Okay.
this one. Right, Nat, you're going to start this time, actually.
Okay.
Away
Here
you
we go. Maggie has become sick and tired of Alex and his Starfighter shit. He's hardly ever home, and when he is, he's distant and aloof. He says he's in love with the stars now and seems unusually close to Grieg, his navigator. Angry that she left her life back on Earth to be with him, she has a string of affairs with several betas and eventually decides to steal his fighter and go to a club. After a few drinks, she notices a handsome stranger at the bar, and they get talking. He brags that although her ship is good, his ship made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs. Even though she has no idea what a parsec is, she decides to follow the handsome stranger and his massive dog who has a gun and leaves Alex for the life of adventure. Eventually, she was eaten by the Sarlacc, but she was drunk and shouting, "Fuck you all!" as she went down his gullet. It's the way she wanted to go. And that is my sequel.
Very good. Okay, right, cool. Okay, questions? Dave and Eddie, fire away.
It sounds sexy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a question, is it?
No.
And in true 80s movie style, and because the original one is made in the 80s, I will honour this. She will obviously be a bit of a helpless maiden damsel in distress, probably wear very tight or little to no clothing, especially when she's been eaten by the Sarlacc, and generally be a little bit goofy. So yes,
Sarlacc
she
is
will
going
be
to
quite
eat her
sexy.
clothes first.
Yes, he'll eat most of her clothes and sort of leave the rest
her
in
a
the...
Raquel Welsh kind of. Yeah.
I've got a question for you. I
Yeah.
don't usually have a question, but I've got one. Will it be the special edition Sarlacc pit, or will it be the original one?
I have no idea what either of them means, so I'm just going to say special edition.
You have lost my vote. You have lost my vote.
Yeah, then he goes in and it will come out that way, you see. In the special edition, when it came out round, I mean,
had a
really
beak.
quite elementary.
It had a beak in the special edition one.
Oh, yeah, we'll go with the beak. I like that
It's
one.
supposed to look like a vagina.
And I don't need to tell you that clothing wouldn't pass through it very easily.
It's Greg.
Right, okay, Dave, you got a question?
My only question was, did he actually watch the film, or did he just read the blurb off the box and think, I'll just marry it with Solo on 9 to 5, I'll get away with it?
I watched it, and I was watching Maggie all the way through it, being like, I'm just scared to leave the trailer park. Him being all like, oh, it's dead easy, look at me, I'm in space now. And I just thought, no, I'm going to give her own like story, but I'm going to make her really resent him for dragging her off into space and then dumping her, basically. They're only young.
Do you know they actually cut? Do you know they cut a bit out of the film in the original screening as they get on the lift at the end and they're going up? She goes, "Hey, maybe I could be a starfighter too." And he goes, "What?"
And then pushes her off.
Yeah, they cut it out, and they were like, "Oh my god!"
He sets her on fire and exiled her because they've had just about enough of that kind of crap. Yeah.
We spent 20 minutes talking about the Sarlacc pit and Star Wars. Right, okay. Dave, it's your turn. Your sequel.
Right, okay then.
Here we go.
Right,
Come
okay.
on. Right, let's go.
So this one, I'll try and make this one quicker. This one is called I won't spoil it. I'll say it. So Alex Rogan is now the admiral of the Starfleet on Rivals.
Oh,
yes, he's been made up. And she's there still. Forgot her name. Is it Maggie? Maggie. So she's there in a corner while he acts aloof. But Zura is now emperor of the Kordan Armada and vows revenge after being I can't read. After being defeated over nearly 40 years ago. After being mortally wounded by a surprise attack. That's another peace rally. It's always peace rallies. Alex hands the reins to his only son to become the next Starfighter. Title card! Unfortunately, his son turns out to be Josh Gad. Larriton shoes, pies are thrown, and the universe is said, that's it.
Okay.
That's it!
What pies? What pies? What pies do they throw in space?
Well, obviously they do it on a planet, so obviously they don't actually go in space and throw a pie because that'd be just.
I'm very disappointed to hear that, Dave.
I mean, we could in a special edition we could do it.
Are we going to be utilising Josh Gad's ability to sing?
I was hoping to save that for the Requels because he gets recast. But yes, we can add an actual number in it. It just comes in a more awkward time of the film. Just as the poised to fight, it kicks off with a song. Really inappropriate, but, it brings a tear to your eye, whether you're laughing or crying.
Can they do a dance fight in the song like in West Side Story?
There's a few toes being tapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're trying... For this film, we try and get away from the fist pumping action because obviously it's inappropriate. But in the end credits, there is the song done again. But this time it's got the full chorus and everybody's dancing and that. Absolutely spectacular glitter. I don't know why they do it. It's just distracting from the credits.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, the best bit of any film. I can't believe they're trying to entertain us during the right.
Yeah. Could you stop the credits for a minute and can we just focus? No, we haven't got time. It took It took 2 countries to make this film.
Let's crack on then. Eddie, your sequel, please.
Yes. Zur is back. Yes, you're all shocked. Zur is back, and this time he has a wig and a new plan. The new plan is the exact same plan, but bigger. So for every one of his ships he had before, he has now got 5 of them, and they are a bit bigger, and they've got swear words written all over them just to really, really intimidate the opposing force. So in the time before Zero comes back, Alex and Grieg, they've rebuilt the Starfighters. They've been training. They've been getting people from all over the galaxy and saying, look, we just need to be ready in case Zero ever comes back, but this time they are ready. Mags has actually gone along with them, and she was trained. She's a natural, and she is the leader of the Night Witches, an all-female squadron who actually cut their engines and let themselves just drift all the way up behind the enemy unleash a barrage of laser fire, kick their engines back on, and faster than light shift out. So there's some proper cool cavalry stuff and all of that. And it's going to be called The Lastest Starfighter.
Right. Okay.
So at the end of the original film, The Last Starfighter, we see his little brother begin to play the game, which we know eventually will be the one that trains him up. Do we see his brother come back grown up as a starfighter, or did he not make the grade?
It turns out his brother's just not very good at video games. No.
Shame.
Yes, but he's there. Well, it's sort of a subplot where Alex is like, I don't know, Grieg, I don't want to see my little brother go out there and get killed and it'd be my fault. And Grieg goes, and he goes, yeah, you're right, Grieg, you're right. And then that plot line gets dropped due to timing because, you know, get your girly pictures in there and stuff. But he took it a bit further and actually pasted them on the inside of his own cockpit, which means he couldn't actually.
I thought you were just going to say cock.
He just
pasted him on his cock. That's all
yeah,
he did.
You can vote now. Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Eddie this time.
Oh,
Eddie, yeah.
Yeah, I liked that one. It's good, that one.
Yeah, I'm going to vote Nat again. I think that was.
Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm torn. I'm torn because Eddie has got a proper sequel going on there. But Natalie said Aloof and Dog with a Gun. And with my mentality, I have to go with the Dog with a Gun. I pick Natalie.
I'm going to go for that as well. Just the Star Wars sign in it. We've got to go for that. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. Votes online, then, please. Never have a pitch. You just read back of. I'm not lazy. I'm most of the
show. Lummy.
You son of a bitch. That's it. Nat, you've won.
Thank you.
Hey!
That's the second round. I usually say at this point it's all still to play for, but it isn't because that's 1-2 rounds. But we'll carry on. We'll carry on anyway, though. We're going to go on to the Requels.
Prepare for target like practice, Starfighter.
Right, Dave, you're up first for this one.
Because I could just say I don't want a remake.
Right. Okay.
No, that's a perfectly valid position to take. Don't worry.
We've all done that. We've all done that.
So this one isn't actually a film. It is one of those Netflix original series, a bit like Cobra Kai. And I call it Starfighter. I've took an R out. Basically, it's basically the film again, frame for frame, but this time it's got an African-American cast with some Mexicans in there, a couple of songs, and it's directed by Tyler Perry, and that's as far as I got.
Right, okay.
Questions?
I mean, that was fairly comprehensive, to be honest. There's no... Can we have something more specific than just a sort of a vague racial similarity between the cast? Who were you thinking of for specific roles?
Oh, I don't know. You could just cast any bugger, really.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right. Let's. No more questions then, Dave.
No. I'm happy.
Okay. Eddie, it's your turn. Your Requel, right. Please.
Yes. Well, it probably wouldn't be called Last Starfighter because what I'm doing is I'm going to sort of take the premise of what it is, which is a sort of Orson Scott Card style, who is good at this game can come and use those skills to save us. And I'm going to bring it up to date for the kids by stating that Angry Birds, so I told you it was up to date, Angry Birds was actually created by a medieval French magician who was asked by the French nation and the army to find expert trebuchet launchers. So they wanted catapult experts. So they thought, we'll go to the future. We'll train people to use the relative physics and what's going to happen once you've launched it, and use that to fight several medieval wars when the French controlled everything. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be two things that kids love, which is very old now phone apps and French medieval history.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Questions, Dave and Nat? Go for it.
I think it worked better if it was Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird, yeah.
But that's not a question. Will Flappy Bird pop up in it?
That is legally a very, very difficult thing because obviously Flappy Bird was taken away, and then people with it on their iPads were selling their iPads for several £100s, which was pretty wild. But I'm gonna say no because Angry Birds have already had a very successful film, so they can only want to improve on that by using the rights from the most memorable of all the 80s kids action films.
I cook Flappy Bird. I eat Flappy Birds for breakfast.
That was
I ate
good.
Big Bird.
What?
Ooh. Oh,
Yeah.
come on now.
I
You
ate
say
him,
No, but it's a perfect. That's
No.
a perfect character. You've picked a perfect person. Well, I would say I'm
punched
not
him
very
right
good
in
on.
kidneys.
I'm not very good on my French history, but I suppose there'd be an evil cardinal in there. Could Snuffleupagus play him?
Well,
So,
he's sort of like
Big Bird.
Cardinal Richelieu from the Three
Yeah.
Musketeers style guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But
yeah,
still comes in
he'll
and
have
goes,
the
"Hey,
purple-
bird."
Yeah. Well, that goes against Catholic doctrine, which makes you a heretic, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, that's
that kind of thing, yeah. Showing you.
What was today's letter?
F.
And the number trois. But you can have Grover showing you the difference between near and far, but in medieval French. I think it'd be really useful for children. It'd basically be Latin or something like that. Wouldn't it?
Kids would lap that up, I'm sure. Your Requel, please.
Let me socks
Okay.
off.
All right,
There you go.
so I feel that we need a Sean Bean vehicle. That's what I'm feeling this evening. So mine is called The Last Starfighter, and it's set in the generic North. A young man can only defeat the southern gentrified Jamie Oliver Pucker Pie by being able to consume 6 pie and chips and a battered sausage, and then be able to carry his drunk 26-year-old girlfriend to a taxi and not get her to throw up in it on the way home. When he passes that test, he can become the last pie eater and essentially take on Jamie Oliver and all of his southern chefs to stop them from flooding the north with their gentrified, vegan, foam-based pastry pies. That's my remake. Sorry,
Just one
Ian.
question. Will he be having scraps with that?
Obviously.
Okay, fine then.
Obviously. Everyone knows that any northern man who turns down scraps is immediately dragged outside and burned. So this is Sean Bean. He's a man's man.
Will become the next Straps, yeah.
Exactly. And he's not going to die in this one. I want to see him survive to the end.
Apart from the coronary he has after his dinner.
So that was really my question.
High cholesterol and,
Yeah.
you know, obesity, but he doesn't die at the end.
But what he does is I assume he's going to take it out, but he's going to have a pickled egg to have in the car on the way home. In just like a little, in a muffin case, like a little fairy cake case. They put him in.
Yeah, and a battered sausage. There's going to be a battered
he'll have
sausage.
that on the dashboard as he's driving, and I'll nibble on that on the way home, and I go, and he'll make him burp, but he'll go, oh, that was actually a pretty nice burp.
And one of those burps that taste good. Oh, bastard, that tasted good. He's going to say that a lot as well. Hey, bastard.
Pickled egg that eats twice.
So yeah, that's my reboot.
Okay,
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Well, because it's put me in the mood for a chippy tea, I'm going Nat again.
I'm struggling this one.
Why?
But just because he mentioned medieval French history, I'm going to go for Eddie for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was, to be fair, Natalie, I mean, you won me before with Aloof and the Space Dog, but you lost me at Sean Bean.
Okay.
And I do like the idea of French history, but I have added Muppets in there. Well, that's my fault. But I will go with, please, Eddie.
Eddie's right, okay. Oh, did you say you're having them? You're having the Sesame Street gang in it, yours, Eddie? Now.
Yeah, I'll put them in. Sure.
Swung it for me then. All right. Yep. Go on. I'll have that. I want to do this.
God, somebody else thought.
I spent a bit of time on this. Right, it's called The Last Starfighters, mine, and it's a video games called Starfighters are freely available to download for all game platforms. Each game format is tailored to a specific function in the Star League. So you got tactical, you got your guns, you got your what do you call it? You know what I mean.
Navigation,
your lasers, navigation, all that, all that stuff, and used to recruit full Starfighter teams rather than just one of them. 20 teams are selected, but after a battle with the Codan Armada, only one team remains. It's up to them to save the day. They truly are the last Starfighters. There you go. Had a bit of a go. The overall winner tonight was Nat then, so let's give Nat a round of applause. There you go. There you go. Let's do some quick plugs. Dave, you got some plugs to do? Mooch TV, tell us where we can get everything on that.
Oh, Mooch TV, yes. If you want to subscribe and like any of my videos on Mooch TV, it's on YouTube, readily available, free. You can go on it anytime you want. Just put in Mooch TV onto Google, you'll find me. You'll see this potato face. Dead easy to find. And that's really about it. Just join, please join. I want the subs. I want money. I want being paid.
You just went past, what is it, 2,500 subscribers this week? Yeah?
Well, I think it was 2,300, but let's think 2.5. That seems nice. And I'd like to thank Chris for doing a video this week, last week. Yes, it was his first proper. It was, we'll want more. We want more Michael K. We want more Kermit the Frog.
That's fine.
And, I'd love to do videos with all of you because you're all talented in all your little ways.
In spite of Richard's theme this evening.
Cool, excellent. As always, discount code, check out improv shows are online. There's a few shows on there that we've put full shows up for you to watch. We are going back to live gigging maybe soon if Boris Johnson doesn't shut us all down tomorrow. We'll see about that. We'll fight him in the street if he tries now. We're going to go out and have a scrap with him. Well, other than that, we'll be back next Monday. Next Monday night, we'll be back. Brand new film, 8 o'clock Monday night. Join us again. We'll see you. Thanks so much for joining us on a Monday night here, 8 o'clock. We loved having you. We'll see you all again. Thank you.
You.
And good night.